There is something timeless about medieval games. They pull you into a world where every choice feels grounded and every moment feels earned. From small villages to massive kingdoms, these worlds give you the chance to build a life, shape a realm, or survive against impossible odds. Here are the top 10 must-play medieval games that you should definitely be playing, if you haven't already. Kingdom Come Deliverance places you in a grounded and historically accurate medieval world where survival depends on skill and patience. You follow Henry, the son of a village blacksmith whose life is torn apart when his home is attacked and his family is killed. The game focuses on slow but rewarding progression, forcing you to learn how to fight, maintain your weapons, manage your stamina, and understand the basics of real medieval combat. Every skill must be earned, from handling a sword to reading a book, and this makes your growth feel personal and earned. The world is filled with believable characters, political tension, and quests that feel like genuine medieval tasks. Whether you are helping a priest, dealing with bandits, or tracking down clues for a noble, as you explore the countryside, you experience a world shaped by war, poverty, and religion. Your choices have weight, affecting how people treat you and how certain events unfold. By the time you stand alongside knights in large battles, you feel the impact of every decision and the journey that brought you there. Mount & Blade II. Bannerlord is a massive medieval sandbox that gives you complete freedom to rise from a wandering mercenary to the ruler of a powerful kingdom. You start with a small party and must build your reputation through trading, fighting, completing quests, and making alliances with different clans. The world constantly shifts as factions go to war, form peace treaties, or lose territory, and you can influence all of it depending on the path you choose. Combat forms the core of the experience, letting you ride into battle on horseback, command troops in real time, and take part in sieges where hundreds of soldiers clash for control of a city. You can also run caravans, improve your settlements, recruit lords to support your cause, and eventually form your own empire with its own politics and laws. The depth of Bannerlord comes from the countless activities available, whether you spend hours forging weapons, participating in arena tournaments, or managing your kingdom's economy. Every playthrough becomes a personal story about your rise to power, shaped entirely by your own decisions. A plague tale. Innocence tells the emotional story of Amicia and Hugo, two siblings struggling to survive during one of the darkest periods in medieval history. Instead of focusing on knights or warfare, the game shows you the medieval world from a grounded and vulnerable perspective. You spend most of your time sneaking through forests, villages, and battlefields, while avoiding soldiers who are hunting you and navigating areas overrun by swarms of plague-infected rats. These situations force you to use your surroundings, simple tools, and quick thinking to survive. The bond between Amicia and Hugo grows as the story progresses, revealing secrets about their family and the strange illness affecting Hugo. Along the way, you meet allies who add depth to the story and help you understand the larger conflict shaping the world around them. The game captures the cruelty of the era through its focus on fear, survival, and the human spirit. Every chapter builds tension, making it a journey driven by emotional weight rather than brute strength. And by the end, it becomes a powerful story about love, endurance, and sacrifice. Chivalry II throws you straight into chaotic medieval warfare, where every battle feels larger than life. The game focuses entirely on fast-paced multiplayer combat, placing you in massive castle sieges, open field clashes, and brutal close-quarters fights where dozens of players collide at once. You choose from different classes, each offering unique weapons and roles. Whether you prefer swinging a greatsword, firing arrows from a distance, or using a shield to hold the line. What makes Chivalry II stand out is the scale of its battles. You push battering rams, defend choke points, escort VIPs, and fight for control of key areas while working with your team. Every match plays out like a medieval movie scene brought to life, letting you experience the chaos and excitement of war without needing deep knowledge of the mechanics. The game encourages creativity in how you approach fights, whether you are dueling opponents, taking down cavalry, or jumping into the fray with improvised strategies. It is a fun and intense experience for anyone who enjoys the adrenaline of medieval combat. Mordhau delivers a more grounded and skill-based approach to medieval multiplayer combat, focusing heavily on timing, precision, and mastery of its fighting system. You enter large medieval battlegrounds where players fight across castles, villages, and open fields, each match offering different objectives and opportunities. What sets Mordhau apart is its deep and flexible combat system, letting you feint, parry, chamber, kick, and combine different moves to outsmart your opponents. You can build your character however you want, customizing armor, weapons, and playstyle to fit either defensive tactics or aggressive rushdowns. Beyond its competitive modes, Mordhau also includes cooperative battles against waves of AI enemies, giving players a chance to practice and experiment without the pressure of multiplayer duels. The game rewards patience and practice, letting you slowly improve as you understand how different weapons work and how players react in fights. It is a medieval combat game that favors skill and strategy, offering an experience that grows more rewarding the more time you invest in learning its systems. Life is feudal. Your own places you inside a detailed medieval survival sandbox where your main goal is simply to live, build, and shape the world around you. You begin with almost nothing, gathering basic materials like wood, stone, and food. To slowly construct your own settlement, the game allows you to terraform the land, meaning you can dig, flatten, and reshape the environment to build farms, walls, houses, and entire villages. Every skill, from crafting tools to forging weapons, must be learned through use, creating a sense of progression that feels natural and grounded. The world is challenging and unforgiving, pushing you to work with other players to form communities that share resources and responsibilities. You can hunt, farm, trade, defend your land from threats, and expand your settlement into something far larger. Life is Feudal is less about quests and story and more about the slow and rewarding process of building a medieval life from scratch. It captures the daily struggles and achievements of the era, showing how much effort goes into creating even the simplest tools or structures. Crusader Kings III is a grand medieval strategy game that lets you control an entire dynasty across centuries, guiding your family through politics, war, diplomacy, and personal drama. Unlike traditional strategy games that focus only on armies and borders, Crusader Kings III places a huge emphasis on the characters themselves. Every ruler, heir, and noble has unique traits, ambitions, and secrets that shape how the world reacts to them. You manage marriages, alliances, feuds, and even scandals that can destabilize your realm or strengthen it, depending on the choices you make. Warfare is important, but the real depth comes from managing vassals, dealing with internal plots, and navigating the ever-shifting web of medieval politics. The game lets you play as any noble across Europe, Asia, and Africa, creating stories that can range from peaceful reigns to chaotic rule filled with betrayal. Over time, you watch your dynasty rise or fall, based on the decisions you make, creating a narrative that feels personal and unpredictable. It is a massive medieval sandbox where every playthrough becomes a completely different story shaped by your actions. Medieval Dynasty puts you in the shoes of a lone traveler trying to build a new life in a vast medieval wilderness. You begin with nothing but basic tools and must gather resources, hunt animals, and craft the essentials needed to survive your first seasons. As you gain experience, you can build a village from the ground up, placing houses, farms, workshops, and defenses exactly where you want them. The game lets you recruit villagers who work, gather materials, and help your settlement grow into a thriving community. You also manage survival elements such as food, temperature, stamina, and crafting, all while shaping the daily life of your growing dynasty. Quests and interactions with nearby settlements help flesh out the world around you, giving you goals and relationships that influence how your village evolves. Over time, you pass leadership down through generations, turning your humble beginning into a long-lasting legacy. It is a peaceful and rewarding medieval experience focused on growth, community, and building something meaningful piece by piece. The Guild 3 is a life simulation game set in the heart of medieval European society, where you build a family dynasty through business, politics, and social influence. You start as a single character with a small trade or craft and work your way up by producing goods, selling them, hiring workers, and expanding your operations. Unlike strategy games that focus only on warfare, the Guild 3 revolves around everyday medieval life. You can run taverns, bake bread, create weapons, manage farms, or dive into more questionable trades depending on how you want your family to rise. As your wealth grows, you can participate in town politics, gaining titles, voting on laws, and influencing how the city is run. Rival families compete for power, creating a world filled with alliances, betrayals, and shifting social dynamics. You can also grow your family, manage marriages, raise heirs, and ensure your lineage continues for generations. The Guild 3 offers a detailed look at medieval society and gives you the freedom to shape your dynasty in any direction you choose. Manor Lords is a village building and strategy game that drops you into a realistic medieval landscape and tasks you with turning a small settlement into a prosperous region. You begin by placing basic structures, assigning villagers to jobs, and gathering the essential materials needed to survive the seasons. Every building has a purpose, and every villager plays a role, creating an organic and believable settlement that grows naturally over time. The game focuses heavily on medieval realism, with systems for farming, trade routes, resource shortages, and seasonal challenges that force you to think carefully about your decisions. As your settlement expands, you can train militia forces to defend your land from raiders or take part in larger conflicts tied to regional politics. The map is open and detailed, letting you choose how to expand your territory and how to support your people as they face the hardships of medieval life. Manor Lords blends city building and tactical strategy into an experience that feels both grounded and immersive, giving you full control over how your realm develops. Medieval worlds offer endless ways to explore, build, fight, and create your own stories. And every game on this list captures a different side of that experience. Whether you want emotional storytelling, deep strategy, epic battles, or the quiet satisfaction of building a village, these titles give you a rich and memorable journey. Goodbye, all you lovely people, and pop me a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed these recommendations.